So hi again, I'm Josip from Developer Experience team. And I wanted to demo the recent release that we did of the client library for Node.js. So we have this released last week. The library is released on npm. So you can install it with just npm install and mirohq/miro-api. It is compatible with TypeScript as well. It comes packaged with TypeScript types inside the library, so you can use it with that as well. And what I wanted to go through today is this Quickstart guide that we have on our developer documentation. So if you go to developers.miro.com, you can find it on the left there under the NodeJS client section. So there are a couple of prerequisites there. Basically, you need to have a Miro account, of course, and there is a requirement of a developer team. This is explained in a couple of other guides that we have on the website here. And we also support Node version 14 or later. So yeah, let's jump to the part of the code, so that yeah, we can see how that works. So I'm gonna create a new directory. Go inside it. We're gonna initialize the npm package JSON. We're also gonna install the client library, and we're gonna create a small index.js file where we're gonna put the code that's in the example here. So one thing that's missing here, of course, is the access token that you should get from the app. In this case, I've got it in my clipboard, so I'm gonna paste that in. And as you can see here, so a couple of things we're doing here is we're creating the instance of the library with the access token inside of it, and then we're gonna iterate over all the boards that are available with this access token, and we're gonna just log them. One thing to notice here is that, yeah, of course, there's the autocomplete because of the TypeScript type, so you can see that there's a name here. It also has a view link, and yeah, it also shows a small description of what that exactly is, thanks to TypeScript. So I'm gonna save that file, and as the rest of the guide says, I'm gonna just run that one. And it's gonna print the list of all the boards that we have. Maybe it's also nicer to add a name there. So let's do that. And yeah, as you can see, there's like a demo and then a link to the board, another test board, all the boards that my user has access to on this team. And maybe another thing to add here is that so this is gonna iterate over all the boards. You don't have to worry about pagination here, for example. That's taken care for you automatically. Yeah, there's no need to pass in the page numbers or cursors or anything like that. And a similar thing works with items. So if you go to the board, we had a demo board there, so let's get the list of all items in there. So I'm going to check if the board name is equal to demo, and do a similar iterator over the items. So we do for await const item off, and then here we say board get all items. Again, we don't have to worry about pages here or anything like that. It's going to return all the items as long as we don't break the loop here. I'm gonna log the item type and maybe the contents of the item. Data contents. I can comment out the rest. So this should now print all the items that we have on the board. I think this should be data dot content. Yes. And then we should see the contents of those items printed out. Yeah, so that's basically the quick start that we have there. There's other guides that you can see that you can look at for the OAuth authorization. We have really good helpers for that as well. Here's an example with the Express framework that you can use to get started with this thing. And also, besides that, we have updated the create-miro-app a tool. So this is a tool that you can use to get started quickly with our SDK, but now it also supports this new Node client, so you can use a framework flag and say Express, and it's going to create a boilerplate code for an Express app that is using our Node library. Maybe I can do a quick demo of that as well. So we can do npx create-miro-app at latest. If I run that, it's going to ask me if I want to download the latest package. I'll say yes to that. So here it's going to ask me for my application name. I'll just make that bigger. REST API demo. And then here we can choose from different frameworks. In our case, we're going to choose the Miro Node client library with Express. Go in there. We also support JavaScript and TypeScript here, so you can choose which language you want to work with. And that's going to create this directory. It's going to install the dependencies, and we're also going to see it's going to have the code needed to get started. Yeah, so that's everything, and the library is also open source, so we have a GitHub repository for that, and we also have the reference documentation where you can see all the details about individual methods and all the properties that are available with this library.